Hey y'all, how are you on this snow day? It is a very cold day here in East Tennessee. We've got some snow outside and I've taken the dog out twice for a walk, and I've had like a sleety, snowy, wintry mix that was falling on me the whole time. We were out of school today and it looks like we're going to be out of school tomorrow too. But as a teacher knows, I have worked nearly all day on school stuff. We have this STEM fair that is coming up in March, and there is so much preparation involved in just organizing and being prepared for that. And so, Tootie has been very busy, okay? But not too busy for my family to eat. And today we're gonna follow through with what we promised you. I'm going to prepare some pork ribs, and I'm gonna make some 3-cheese tortellini. And I'm gonna give credit to my 3-cheese tortellini to a sweet young girl in our church, Carissa. Carissa has, I wanna say Carissa Nash because she was Nash longer than I've known her, with her married name that is totally escaping my mind right now. But Carissa is a sweet girl, and she had shared this recipe with me. She first fixed it for me, I believe, when I had COVID and thought I was gonna die. And I had her fix it for me, and then she brought it, and I wanted to try to eat it, and I couldn't taste anything. But I saved her recipe, and I've used it for events, and I've kind of put my own twist to it, but a lot of it I've kept the same. Anyway, so we're going to start off with our pork ribs. I've just bought a package of boneless pork ribs, and I'm going to put just a little bit of my favorite olive oil, y'all. Cold press, one source, glass bottle. I'm gonna put a little bit in my heated, it's my Magnalite pot. I've got a couple of them. Some of you have made comments about my Magnalite pots, and they're kind of a family collection. I think my mother gave me some, and I think I bought one. But anyway, I'm gonna slightly sear these to start off with. And I have coated them with, y'all look at this. You want to get you some of this. This is the Everglades rub. The Everglades rub. If you have ordered and or using, or if you, where did it go here? My regular Everglades. It has run away, y'all. It thought I was gonna use it, and it took off running. Well, nothing like being prepared, huh? My goodness, where did y'all ever have stuff like that happen to you where you think you got it all together and you don't? Okay. I've been talking to you about my Everglades rub. Hey, Jamie Fry. I've been talking to you about my Everglades seasoning. You want to go to Amazon and order you some. Now, I've heard that Food City here has it, and I know that Publix carries it as well. I don't know if you have either of those stores in your area, but if you don't, you can order it from Amazon as well. But I used my Everglades rub on my boneless pork ribs, and I have coated both sides of them, and I've put a little bit of olive oil in my pan. I'll scoot you over here a little bit, and I'm just going to set them down in this olive oil, and I'm going to let them sear just a little bit, and then we're going to pull them out, and we're going to put them in the oven for about 2 hours on 375, and then we're going to check them out and see if they're nice and tender, and if they're not, we'll stick them back in there. But we're just going to put a little bit of a sear. These are boneless pork ribs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8 pieces of boneless pork rib. Hey, Tracy. You caught me live again, girl. These snow days have got me cooking. Well, after I've spent about 6 hours on schoolwork. All right. So I have these just cooking away in my Magnalite skillet. You can see those in there. I'm just going to sear all the sides, and while that is cooking, I'm going to have to keep watching it though, okay? I'm just going to cover it while it's searing so that it's not so noisy. Y'all, my little microphone, I didn't plug it up, so it's dead. All right, now what we're going to do is when we go to put it in the oven, we'll put it in my nice Pampered Chef stoneware. If you don't have stoneware, you want to get you some. Hey, Tracy Bays. I've got Tracy Bays and Tracy Testo. Tracy Bays is my childhood friend. Oh, I love her so much. I miss that we don't get to see each other a lot. All right, so this is what I'll be baking, the finishing process of my boneless ribs in. We're going to set that to the side. And I'm going to talk to you about my tortellini. Because I'm going to actually use the drippings of the pork ribs to cook some ground sausage. And my pork sausage comes from Hyde's Farm. If you guys live in this local area, in the Greenback Vonore area, y'all, I always have hairs going crazy. This is called, we're talking a messy, this is the definition of messy bun. Ugh. At least it's not down to where it's going to get in my food though, huh? All right, pork sausage, let's talk about Hyde's Farm. Mitchell and Sandy Hyde, they own Hyde's Farm here in the Vonore Greenback area. You want to go and check out their market. They have fresh, butchered pork and beef. And I love their pork sausage. Let me tell you what I like so much about it. It is very lean, very lean. You have to add a little bit of oil to be able to cook it and it not just like really stick to your pan. So that's what I'm going to be cooking here in just a minute. We're going to also be using a little bit of, I almost out of fresh garlic and garlic. What in the world? I even went and bought groceries yesterday. Do y'all do that? Go buy groceries and then you get home and you don't have what you really needed. But I found some roasted garlic paste that's going to do just fine. And then let me grab an onion real quick. We need to always add an onion. All right, I don't have any white onion, and I have a red onion, but I think instead I'm going to use green onion because I have some of that. Twice now when I have went to Aldi's, they have been out of my sweet onions. What is up with that? Is there a shortage on them? I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and while my pork is searing, I'm going to cut up some green onions, and they need to be used because they've got some pieces here that don't look the greatest. I'm going to turn my ribs, okay? I'm just turning them over. I'm going to turn it up too. It's not searing like I wanted it to. Is it cold where y'all are at? I've been watching the weather for Hot Springs, Tracy Bays. Watching on my mama's behalf as well. Okay, so it's good, but I didn't have my fire turned up real good, and so you see how the sear is not like a nice little, I like it to be a nice little like blackened, not blackened, but you know what I mean. So we're going to let that cook just a little bit more. And I'm going to clean some green onions here. And we are going to use our little rib drippings. And we're going to cook up some of our garlic paste and our green onions. I like to peel the skin off for anybody that's new at cooking. I like to also cut the tips off my green onions. I don't know why I do. It's kind of like the girl who asked her mother, Mom, why do you always cut off the end of the ham? I do it as well because you did it all my life, but I'm trying to figure out why you did it. What was wrong with that end? And her mom said, nothing was wrong with it. My pan wasn't big enough. So I don't know why I cut the ends off my onions. I don't know if I watched my mother do it. Y'all want to know the truth of the matter with my cooking? Oh, wow, close to 3 inches in Jacksboro, Tennessee. Wow, that's awesome. Oh, I see, Tracy. So because you work at the hospital, you're having to stay in a hotel room next to the hospital. Yeah, I saw where somebody else that's a nurse was having to do that. I admire you guys that work at the hospitals and have to do that, making sure that you keep our community hospitals open. It's very admirable. Okay, so we're just cleaning up these green onions because we're going to use all of them. I'll get you over here with me where you can see what I'm doing. Y'all have noticed in my videos, I get to talking to you and it's all me that you see, not my food. What's up with that? Okay, we're about to get all these done and my ribs should be about ready to pull out and put in my stoneware roaster, I guess is what it's called. Okay, we're gonna run these onions through water. Do you guys soak your vegetables and fruits when you come home from the grocery store with them? I don't. And I even have the Thieves vegetable wash. I just don't do it. I don't know why I don't. I am sure there's things that we need to wash off of it, don't we? Do y'all do it though? Do y'all have like a recipe of what you like? What kind of vegetable or fruit cleaner do you have that you soak your stuff in? Because maybe I ought to start doing that. Okay, we've got all these green onions cut up, and I'm smelling those ribs. And if you just hopped on, I coated my ribs in my Everglades rub. If you're using the Everglades seasoning, all-purpose seasoning that I've been advertising, you want to get you some of the rub. It's really good. But we're just searing them. I probably need to take the lid off to make that sear happen too. It's getting good enough. Now let me tell you the purpose of quick searing your meat. Your beef, if you're gonna like cook a roast, your pork, you want to sear it so because once you've seared the outside, you kind of locked in that moisture and it helps it to be more tender. Tracy says she gives them a quick rinse unless it looks dirty. I use a cup full of vinegar and water to soak them in. Okay. All right. That's good to know. Maybe I need to do that too. I know when I do my garden and I bring my vegetables in, I always have to soak them because they're dirty from the dirt out there. Are y'all doing a garden this year? Give me a shout out if you're doing a garden. Tell me what you're going to be planting. I skipped last year, and I was so sad I did because my garden is my therapy. But it's like a kid. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of responsibility. And last year I was like, I don't want the responsibility. And I missed it. I really did. There's nothing like going out there and just picking your own fresh vegetables. There is nothing like it. Okay, so I've got my stoneware here. And I'm going to pull this here ribs out and stick it down in here. I'm going to add a little bit of chicken broth to the bottom of the pan because I don't want them to dry out. And y'all, it's going to pack in here nicely, which is what I wanted it to do. This was a pack of 8 pieces. Y'all see that? 8 pieces. Oh, y'all, it smells so good. All right, now I'm gonna put just a little bit of chicken broth in the bottom, and that's just to keep it from getting dry. I'm just gonna cover the bottom of the pan. I'd say it's about a 1/2 cup. Whoops, that is not the right lid. We're gonna put the lid on it, and I've got the oven already set on 375. And it's going to cook in there. Do y'all ever forget your cast iron skillets in your pan, in your oven? I did. They'll be nice and seasoned because they were oiled. Yep, they'll be nice and seasoned. I am terrible about forgetting that. Okay, we're going to put these babies in here. They're on 375. You will see the results of these in the comments when they're done because I ain't gonna bore you for 2 hours waiting on it. All right, I'm gonna put just a little, let's put a little bit of oil, not broth. We're gonna put a little bit more oil in the bottom here. I'm gonna show you what the bottom looks like. The bottom of my pan. Look at this. Look at that yumminess. Is that not fantastic? Okay, now I'm just gonna kind of give it a, I've got my metal spatula here, and I'm just gonna kind of break up the seasoning. Okay, we have these onions right here. These green onions that I cut up, y'all see those? We're gonna throw them in here. And I'm gonna cut the fire back just a little bit. The fire, I wished it was a fire. I want a gas stove, y'all. All right, we're gonna put all these in here and let them cook. I'm gonna put the garlic in last because garlic, if you cook it too long, it starts getting bitter and overcooks. All right, I have my celery already cut up and, or not cut up, my words, y'all. And I lose a knife that fast. There it is, it was covered up by my mitt. It's already washed up. And now I'm gonna cut it up real fine. I'm cutting it up real fine, okay? And I'm gonna probably run my knife back over it again. This is gonna be 3 cheese tortellini, and it's a soup. Some people don't do it as a soup. Mine's gonna be a soup. And I'm just gonna run my knife back over it. Just turn your knife on its side and chop it up. Okay. That's probably about a 1/4 cup of celery. I don't want a huge amount of celery in there, but I am going to season up my onion and my celery with a little bit of Everglades. Wrong side. Okay. Now, we're going to stir that up. Y'all get over here where y'all can see this pot. What's in this pot. I'm going to add just a little bit more olive oil because I'm fixing to throw my meat in there. My ground sausage from Hyde's Farm. If y'all are local. Hello, Sister Gribble. We're praying for you guys. I know y'all are going through a lot right now. I admire you, sweet lady. I have a prayer request for y'all. I have a sweet friend. Those of you who are local, you're going to know who I'm talking about. Her name is Minnie Burns. She is the most precious lady. Mother, grandmother, she's just a sweetheart. And she is in the last stages of cancer. And y'all, it's the most pitiful thing. But she was the kind I could call on her for anything. Hey, Hannah Patterson. Y'all, please pray for Minnie Burns, that God's will is just done with her, because that God's will is done, is completed with her, because I don't want her to suffer, but we are having a hard time letting her go. But God's able, y'all. He is able. He's able to do exceedingly and abundantly above all that we could ask or think. All right, y'all, so I'm going to be using, I'm just cutting it up into little pieces, and then I'm going to chop it up, okay? And I'm going to probably use this whole pound of ground sausage here. All right, and we're going to let this cook. Y'all keep you a little garbage area for your stuff. Right now mine's a dirty plate. It was the plate that I ate on before I started this show. It was sitting there by the sink. I need to wash it. Put it in the dishwasher. All right. I'm just gonna chop up this ground sausage. And then what we're gonna, this cooks fast because it's real lean. Get you over here where you can see it good. Y'all, my videos are just homegrown, aren't they? Nothing professional about it. Alright, so my sausage is being cooked up with my onion and my celery. We'll turn it up to medium. Kind of chopping up that sausage, y'all. Y'all can see that. This is 1 pound of ground sausage. I use Hyde's Farm if you're local. If you're not, anything you buy at the store will do too. Give Hyde's Farm some business if you're local. Okay, now I'm going to talk to you about, while this is finishing up, I'm going to talk to you about what else I'm going to put in here. Hang on just a second. There we go. Okay, so have you a bag of spinach ready? Have you some half and half ready? Have your chicken broth ready? And I'm going to throw in some garlic here in just a second. I've got that garlic paste because I told you I'm out of regular garlic. How does a person run out of garlic? Y'all, really? All right, so here in a second when this is cooked up, it doesn't take long. I've turned the fire up. I'm going to pull it out. Actually, I think last time I didn't. I'm just going to I'm going to sprinkle some flour over it. Okay, and then I'm going to keep cooking it. And it's going to make somewhat of a little roux in the bottom with the meat mixed up with it, and that's okay. I remember now I did that last time and it turned out really good. So we're making 3 cheese tortellini. Let me show you what kind of tortellini. I'm going to show you 2 different kinds. This is what I'm using today. Yes. Garlic is a staple in my fridge too, Tracy. I've just messed up. So this is a frozen bag of 3 cheese tortellini, or cheese tortellini. It has ricotta and romano. This is not a 3 cheese. This is a 2 cheese. Now, I wanted to show you another kind that I had in the cabinet. This kind you don't have to keep in the fridge or the freezer. It's vacuum packed. This is a cheese tortellini made with, it says, an assorted seasoned cheeses and ricotta. It tells you can marinate, or you can put marinara sauce over it and sprinkle with Parmesan cheese. You don't have to do it in a soup like I'm doing today, okay? All right, so my sausage is just about ready. And I have a little bit of all-purpose flour. You could actually use any kind of flour. You don't have to just use all-purpose for this. Hey, Billy Sanders. Girl, you doing some cooking down there in Louisiana. Derek, is that you on there? Oh, my goodness. I'm not used to seeing a Dupree watch me. Your wife's a good cook, too. Y'all do some good cooking. I'm making 3 cheese tortellini. I've already got ribs in the oven. I showed those just a minute ago. Okay, y'all, so my sausage, I'm going to show it to you. It's ready with the celery and the onions. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this garlic paste to it. I'm going to do about a teaspoon of garlic paste. Have y'all ever used garlic paste? Me neither. It was Gabby's. Oh, Lord. I'm telling you, somebody needs to come do this hair. Okay, now I'm going to turn my heat up a little bit. It's going to be, my numbers are 1, 3, or it's low, 2, 3, 4, 5, medium, or medium, not 5, 6, 7, 8, and then high. So your 10 is a high. I've got it on 7, and it kind of gives you an idea of what I'm cooking it on. And the reason I've turned the heat up is because I want to make a little bit of a roux with my flour. Y'all look at what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of shaking some flour over the top of this. If you're gluten intolerant, you don't have to do this, and I'm going to tell you why. I've actually forgot to do it before, and it does just fine. It helps with the thickening process, but if you use heavy cream, you wouldn't need it. I have half and half, so I'm using a little bit of flour to make like a little bit of a roux. And y'all come over here and watch this as I cook this. It's just kind of coated the meat and coated the bottom. Alright, now that's getting a little bit of a noise to it. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pour in about a cup of chicken broth and then a cup of half and half, okay? So let me get a cup. Don't y'all like my Pioneer Woman measuring cups? I love them. Alright, I'm going to do a cup of broth. Y'all come watch this. Let me get you over here. I don't have a good spot above my stove to show you. Does that help? I turned the light on. Can you see that? Okay, that's a cup of broth. Now I'm going to do a cup of half and half. Now this is not going to be all the broth I have. I'm going to add some more here in a little bit, but I like to do it a little bit at a time. I don't like to just drown it. Okay, now, y'all see that nice little mixture it's making? Now, while that's heating back up, I'm going to cut me up a whole big carrot. Look at this big old honking carrot, y'all. This thing is huge. For any of you who were not watching a minute ago, we're making 3 cheese tortellini, and I already have some ribs in the oven. All right. Hang on just a second. We're going to peel I dropped my cutting board, y'all. Alright, here we go. I'm a mess today. Y'all are probably saying today I'm just homegrown. I heard somebody say they were just cornbread. Just homegrown like cornbread. Alright. Let's just peel this carrot. And what we're going to do is we're going to chop this carrot up. And we're going to put it down in there and let it start cooking. I normally have my parrots. How about that? My parrots. I normally have my carrots peeled. But I dropped the ball today, didn't I? Do y'all follow Brenda Gant? Y'all need to go follow her. She's incredible. I was watching her this morning. She's an Alabama cook. She's got cookbooks out too, y'all. They're good. Hi, Kim. We're making 3 cheese tortellini, and I just put some ribs in the oven. You'll have to go back and watch that. All right, because this carrot is so thick, I'm gonna cut this baby down long ways. and then I'm going to cut it sideways, okay? Y'all see that? A stir. All right, we're ready for another cup of broth. So it's going to be back and forth, 1 cup of each, until we're done. All right, I'm going to do 1 more cup of half and half, and then we're going to let that come back up to a boil. Now, it'll be ready for my carrots. Y'all see that? It's going to be ready for my carrots here in just a second when it comes back up. Carrots cook pretty fast. Have y'all noticed that? All right. Make sure y'all can see what I'm doing here. I wished I had a stove in the center. I need to quit wishing and be thankful, don't I? We're going to cut. This carrot is huge, y'all. But I want it to cook fairly fast, so I'm cutting them in little small circles. And this is 3-cheese tortellini soup. Some people use it as a pasta and put marinara over it. I'm not marinaring it tonight. I'm souping it tonight. We got snow on the ground. And it was sleeting and wintry mix a minute ago. And y'all, when you look at the weather, it looks like it's just going to keep doing it all afternoon. Okay, so I have about, I would say, let's see how much it is. It's probably about a cup. We'll put it in this 1 cup and I can tell you for sure. Yeah, it's going to be a cup of carrots. Look at that, would you? 1 cup of carrots, and we're going to put that in there and let that cook. Ooh, it's looking good, y'all. It's looking good. All right, we got our carrots. That's all the cut up stuff that has to cook. So let's talk about again what we have in here. I first had browned my ribs in this pan with my favorite rub, one of my favorite rubs. This one's the Everglades rub. And then I took the drippings and I used 1 pound of Hyde's pork sausage. It's a very lean sausage. If you're in the area, you want to go and get you some. Then I threw in a whole bunch of onions. I feel like I have to show you, talk with my hands. And then I put in some celery, about 1/4 of a cup, not a lot of celery. And then I've cut up a cup of carrots. We also put in about a teaspoon of minced garlic. It's not minced garlic, it's garlic paste. It'll work. All right, this is coming together. Now we're gonna go in with our seasonings. I know y'all were waiting on that. Y'all know what I'm gonna use. What am I gonna use? Y'all guess. What do y'all think I'm gonna use? I'm gonna hide it and let's see what y'all say. Let's see what y'all say. Y'all know me by now. Let's see what y'all say. Y'all might be surprised. Oh, there's Pamela Morrison. Girl, listen. Pamela, listen there. I'm so glad you're here. Girl, I went on your website and ordered some of them t-shirts that was on sale. Y'all, Lene Marie Boutique, Pamela Morrison. Y'all go check out her boutique. She's the sweetest lady you'll ever meet. She is in Louisiana and she is rocking it on Facebook with her live sales. She has another sale Friday. But Pamela, my main seasonings, you can just get on Amazon and order them. Everglades, did y'all think I was going to use Everglades? You better believe I am. Garlic and wine, I can't do nothing without this, y'all. Somebody said you like it because the wine's in there. Maybe, I don't know. I've never had wine, but it's pretty good in the seasoning. Some Italian seasoning. I'm going to put just a dash of Tony's in there. Pamela, y'all got the Tony's manufacturing place down there in Louisiana somewhere. I've seen it. I've got family in Louisiana and they took me by there, not in there, but by there. All right, y'all, look at this 3 cheese tortellini. It's just a cooking. I feel like I have enough milk product in it now. I've already put a whole, two cups, I'm sorry, of half and half, and 2 cups of chicken broth. We're gonna go in with another chicken broth. And it's okay that them carrot pieces are in there. So that's 3 cups of chicken broth. And of course, I'll always put my recipe in the post later. And then my ribs are in the oven. And if y'all just popped on, Pamela, I used the Everglades rub. Order both of them when you get on Amazon. Okay. And I did go, if you have a melting pot restaurant, go to Melting Pot and get your garlic and wine because it's $3 cheaper than Amazon. I'm cheap. Are y'all cheap? My husband's created a cheap person out of me. He's a penny pincher. But I'm thankful for it. Although in my older years, I'm about to give him a heart attack with these boutiques. Tracy, yes, the garlic and wine girl. All right, we're getting the spinach ready for our 3 cheese tortellini soup. Okay, I need more broth still. It's been a while since I made this. I'm gonna go in with 4. You just do you. You might like yours more creamy. That's 4 cups of chicken broth so far, and I may end up putting more, y'all. Just hide and watch. You may like yours to be, more creamy. I like mine. Trying to get things situated here. I like mine to be more juicy. Creamy, yes, but I like soup to be soupy. Hey, Sister Becky, how are you? I hope you're doing good and staying safe on this snow day. All right, y'all see this business over here? I'm making 3 cheese tortellini soup. Now, this is what we're gonna do next. We're gonna take and we're gonna put in that cheese tortellini. Freezer department at Aldi's, but they have it at Walmart too, and they have it in the Great Value brand, and it's good. I've tried it. You can also buy it in the vacuum packed packages in just on the shelf, just in an aisle. It's not refrigerated or frozen. It's just vacuum sealed, okay? You can also use those. The refrigerator section has a set of them as well, a container of them. Any of them work, y'all. And so I'm gonna throw it in here. Today I'm using the frozen bag. And I've had these sitting out for about an hour, so they're not quite frozen, but you can put them in frozen and it works. Look what they look like. They're little pastas that are filled with cheese, and you can get them with different fillings. There's some with cheese and spinach, but I already had spinach I'm putting in mine. Look at that, y'all. Look at that goodness. Look at that goodness. Look at that goodness. Okay, we're gonna let that stir for a sec, or let that cook for a second. There goes my words again, y'all. I just have a little bit of chicken broth in here. Not even a 4th cup. So just a little more than 4 cups of chicken broth. And then I did 3 cups, I believe, of half and half, but you do you. You can stop the half and half more quickly than I did, or you can add more. The actual recipe doesn't even call for chicken broth, but I like to make me a little soup out of it. My husband will even eat this, and he's not a soup person, y'all. Oh, you're loving Aldi's? Oh, good, Becky. I'm glad you're trying Aldi's. It's great. It's great. They've got a lot of natural stuff. Now, their fruits and vegetables don't last as long because even their stuff that's not organic, it doesn't have a lot of the pesticides and stuff on it, and so it doesn't last as long, okay? Their stuff that's preserved, or that would normally have preservatives, some of it doesn't. They're a very small grocery store. They're lovely. They're lovely and all things wonderful. All right, I don't like the big stems, so any of these that have big stems on this spinach I'm throwing in here, I am going to just put it in here. My husband just texted me and asked me if I'm doing a video. How am I supposed to tell him that? Oh, maybe I can do it on my watch. I don't know. Y'all, I have an iWatch and I don't even know how to use it half the time. My students help me with all that. They also help me know how to talk. Y'all know that. They correct me all the time. They're like, what did you just call that? If I say Italian, they're like, I think even my Zach and Gabby and Nick get on to me for that. The world is trying to help me be able to talk better. Sister Becky, yes, it helps your finance, your wallet too, doesn't it? Aldi's is super inexpensive, y'all. I mean, there are things that are close to the same as Walmart or Kroger, but overall, and y'all, I'm going to end up putting, this is probably so far about a half of a, it says it's about 3 cups. I've probably put in the equivalence of 1 cup. I don't know if that, I guess that's before cooked, a whole cup. I'm going to probably put half this bag though, so it'll be about 1.5 cups. And y'all, I feel like I might still need a little chicken broth. For me, that's me. Okay, now that we got this spinach in here, we're going to start seasoning. Now, my hide sausage has seasoning in it, so don't think I haven't used any, and I've already put garlic. You can put your seasonings in before now. Sometimes I do. I'll be quite frank. I haven't because I forgot to put it in earlier. All right, we're going to go in with a little bit of Everglades. All right, about a tablespoon. You want to taste it. I over Evergladed my cabbage last night. Somebody here? You can come in, Zach. Y'all, you come say hello to my people over here. I want them to see a face with this name. Come here. Oh, he has promised me, I forgot. He wants to stay incognito until he says I have 500. Didn't you say 500 subscribers? Yes, you did. He has memory loss. He has memory loss too, y'all. That's in the family. He told me that when I got 500 subscribers, y'all, I'm only 13 people from another level of 100 subscribers on my YouTube. And by the way, I just put another cup of chicken broth. I just keep adding, don't I? All right, now I'm going to use about a tablespoon of Italian seasoning. I might have put some in a minute ago. I don't know. It's okay. Can't overdo with that. And I'm going to throw me in some of that garlic and wine. I think Zach's embarrassed. We embarrass our kids, don't we? That's okay. You know what? My students love me. They put me on our smart board yesterday in my STEM class. It was the most awkward thing for me. I'm not into watching myself. I do have to do it to edit. But do y'all like to see yourself on video and picture? Not me. All right. Okay, we're going to go in with a little more spinach. Y'all see how nicely it's cooking down? But remember, I'm going to pull them big stems out. We're probably going to go in with about 2 cups of spinach. I can't believe my husband eats this stuff. He's usually allergic to the vegetables. Do y'all have somebody in your family that's allergic to their vegetables? Y'all, thank you for coming on here. And I need your help. Y'all know what I'm going to ask. I'm like a beggar. I don't mean to be, but maybe I do mean to be. I'm going to ask you to please share my video because I'm going to put on there my YouTube link, and I'm trying to build my YouTube account up. So I would just love it if you would share this. And I think there's 7 of you on here. Would all 7 of you mind going and sharing it? Okay, I'll invite you over for a bowl of soup if you do. Y'all come on over. I mean that. Sister Becky, what'd Tracy say? My mom calls it Italian. When I correct her, she said I've used my English all my life. There you go. Yeah, my English. I'm going to use that, Tracy. That's just my English, y'all. All right, y'all, look at this beautifulness. Look at this beautifulness. Now we're going to taste it and see if we need something. because I oversalted my cabbage last night. It made me mad. My husband was so sweet though. He told me it was good and he ate seconds. I'm usually the one that doesn't taste salt good. And he was eating it up. All right, we're gonna taste this stuff, y'all. Look at this. Can y'all see that amazing stuff? I'm dripping everywhere. It's hot, y'all. Perfect. No more salt. In fact, I'm gonna add just a little bit of pepper. Let me find my pepper here. It's on my table. Let me get it. I'm just gonna add me some black pepper in here. You don't have to, that's optional. All right, we're done. So I've got my ribs in the oven. I coated my ribs for those of you who've just hopped on. I've coated my ribs with Everglades. Everglades rub. The Everglades rub. Y'all see that business? Go on Amazon and order it. If you live in Maryville, go to Publix and get it. And I seared it a little bit in this pan that my soup's in. And then I put it into my stoneware, we call it my stoneware, like Dutch oven type thing. And I stuck it in the oven on 375. And it's gonna cook for about 2 hours. But I'm gonna check it before then and make sure everything's good. Then I took the drippings and I put my onion and my celery in those drippings and let it cook. And then I added a pound of Hyde's sausage, Hyde's pork sausage. Now, the pork sausage I buy has a little red tag on it. You know what that red tag means? It's supposed to be hot, but when you eat hot stuff like I do, it's just nice heat. It's not like hot, hot, hot. But if you're super sensitive to heat, he has the regular and the mild. Mitchell Hyde, I'm gonna tag you in this. You're gonna have to recognize that I am promoting your business. All right, then we added cut up carrots. I took a big old carrot. It was about this size. Y'all, what are they doing to these carrots? Look at how big this carrot is compared to my arm. Look at that. What in the world? A carrot on steroids. I have never seen the sight. But I cut up all of one of those babies and put it in here. And then I started adding my tortellini and my spinach and my chicken broth and my half and half. I only put about 2 cups of half and half, and then I have put about 5 cups of chicken broth. But you can make it more creamy with half and half, more soupy, brothy with your chicken broth. And then I added all my favorite seasonings. I put a little bit of Tony's. I put a little bit of garlic and wine, melting pot, and I put some of my Everglades, my favorite. Y'all have a wonderful evening, maybe snowy evening if it's in your area. Thank y'all for joining me, and stay tuned because after I get all this cleaned up, this evening I'm going to be making some apple dumplings. It's either going to be before church or after, but either way you can go back and watch the replay. I love y'all. Have a wonderful evening, and I will see you next time.